Hey guys, Eric Su here. Welcome back to another episode of Next Gen MLM Hacks Radio. I've got a quick and short one for you. This is all about tech, and so hope you guys like it and stay tuned. We got into network marketing with dreams and hopes that it will change our lives and financial futures. Soon we realized that most everything being taught are either old, outdated tactics or worn-out sales methods creating broken relationships. On top of that, we're held back from our network marketing companies to innovate and advance the industry on the internet. What's so wrong with using the internet to grow our teams and businesses? This podcast will show serious network marketers like you and me are burning the boats and liberating ourselves from archaic and backward methods. By the way, we're creating massive movements without nagging our family and friends. Follow this podcast while I uncover fresh, current methods I'm using to build my global team and get people asking to join my team. Finally, there's an exciting brand new way without all those slow, restrictive, and outdated methods. My name is Eric Su, and welcome to Next Gen MLM Hacks Radio. Hey everyone, before diving into today's episode, I have a special message. As you know, attending live events are super important. They give us experiences and create moments that we could never get sitting on the couch. With that said, I am super excited to share with you a network marketing event hosted by the company I represent. I just wanted to be upfront with you about this, so no hate comments for inviting people to this event. Now, if you are open to taking a look, want to work with me, or just curious about this company, visit a special application funnel I created so you can learn more and order a ticket. It's www.nextgenmlmhacks.com/we become more. WEBECOMEMORE. Hope to see you there. All right, you guys, if this is the first time you've heard of this podcast or seen this YouTube video, go ahead and like and subscribe so that you can get future episodes just like this. And this one's going to be about my book, Network Marketing Rebooted. And you can get a free copy by going to networkmarketingrebooted.com. So let's dive into today's episode, and we're going to be talking about hardware tools and software tools that you can use so that you can produce content like this. And what's great about this video is I'm going to be talking about, if you are on a budget, what you can get and to get started. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so I can remember when I was looking into a lot of these tools. Now, much of what I have is from the past. When I had my fitness club, I had to get software. I had to learn how to code and do photo editing. And what I'm talking about is Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop. And so this was back in about 2000, 2005, around that time when I started learning about all this. And so I have over 10, 15 plus years of photo editing experience. And all I can say is that there's so much information out there that you can just look it up on YouTube and learn how to photo edit. You don't need to use Adobe Photoshop, for example, which is something I use, but there are other softwares out there that you could download for free and find how to use. So let's get into more specifics as to the hardware at this point, though. So let me dive into the hardware. Now, I can remember also when I was looking into computers, laptops specifically, this camera that I'm using to shoot with, phones that you use as well. And so there's a lot of tools that we could be using. And if you're on a budget, then this is what you could be starting with, okay? So let me just list off the hardware at a minimum you could get so that you can start producing content like this, okay? So as far as the smartphone goes, let me just say that smartphones, there's so many out there on the market right now. You can go as far as the Samsungs, you can go and get the iPhones, you can go and get the OnePlus, and so on and so on. So why would you use a smartphone? So the reason to use a smartphone is to capture audio, and you can also use it to capture video. Okay, obviously the phone can be your office where you make phone calls and text and so forth. But if you're looking for something to use your phone for, it would be for the audio and then also for the video. So I currently use an iPhone, and probably will upgrade to a newer version of iPhone. However, you can always get a lower cost smartphone if you are on a budget, and it doesn't have to break the bank, right? So use it for your audio and use it for your video. Okay, what's really great about most smartphones too, they have data plans so that you can do Facebook Lives, by the way, and that's what I use my phone a lot for, is Facebook Live or even YouTube Live. So that's a great benefit that a smartphone is for. Okay, so so get one that fits your budget, and anyone that has high resolution video is really good, so that quality makes a difference sometimes, and so look for something that has high quality, high resolution. Okay, so you can also use, like I said, the phone for your audio, and I use Anchor.fm, which is a software platform that allows you to record your podcast. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but use your phone for audio as well. Okay, so now as far as laptops go, so laptops are really, really interesting because you can go really low end, talking about $200 range, $250, and then you can go up from $300 to $800 range, and then $800 and beyond, right? Now, if you're looking at laptops particularly, you want to make sure there's a fairly big hard drive, and so that's like 1 terabyte is a really big hard drive. If you can find something like in your budget and it has that size hard drive, that's really good, because you'll be producing a lot of video content or audio content, and you want to have some space. Now, if you find a laptop that has a big memory as well, so 6 gigabyte memory or 8 megabyte memory, that's really good as well for that laptop for speed purposes. And so looking at hard drive and looking at memory, those are the big ones. And then the other thing is the processor, which, there's so many different types of processors out there, and try to get the fastest one possible is always good too, so that you can do your graphics on your videos and so forth, and that's really important. Screen size obviously is another factor. If you like something smaller, that's cool. 15-inch is pretty normal right now. I used to have a 17-inch, which is pretty big, and 15 seems to be the perfect size to travel with as well. So 15 is the screen size I would suggest. Like I said, if you can find something that's around $500, you're doing pretty good. Anything lower than that, you probably won't find a lot of memory. You probably won't find a large hard drive, but if you can find all of those in something in your budget, that's even better. So find a laptop that works for you. I use PC. I know a lot of people will use Mac and so forth, and I think they're great too. Just pick an operating system that you feel comfortable with. Okay, so I don't want to go too far into it, but that's all about laptops. And then the camera. Okay, so your phone may have a camera, and the camera might be 12 megapixels or something like that camera, and that's pretty good. And then you have your point and shoot cameras that are out there, vlogging cameras out there. You have your DSLR cameras and so forth, and the price ranges can go over $1,000, right? The one I'm shooting with is the EOS M6. There's several benefits behind this one. It's interchangeable lens. It has a flip screen so that you can see yourself when you are vlogging. It has you can put an external mic on it, which I really enjoy, and so hopefully this sounds good to you guys. But that's what's really great about this camera. I like it, so it's not too heavy as well. And so it has a lot of other features that I like about it. Now, I know there's other Sony cameras out there that are similar, flip screen and so forth. You just gotta find one that you feel comfortable with. I think I got my first camera, this was a long time ago, probably in 2005, and it was Canon point and shoot, and I've always stayed with Canon. So doesn't mean I won't switch over to another brand, but it seems like I like Canon a lot. So do your research. I would say, if you like Sony, just look it up and do your research. I probably took maybe, I don't know, 2-3 months just researching cameras, looking on YouTube to see what other people are using. You can always find people talking about which is the best vlogging camera and so forth, and then find the one that fits your budget as well. So I'm gonna I'll put a picture or something like this so that you can see what I'm talking about, what I'm using, and then in addition to a great camera, you probably could benefit from a very strong and sturdy tripod. So I'll put these links of what I'm using in the post so that you can check them out for yourself. But a tripod would be really great too. Now, I mentioned the external mic that you can use for audio, and I think that's really important. Audio, you want people to be able to hear what you're saying, and so I have a Rode mic on this camera so that you can hear me, and when you vlog and so forth, that and you're outside, that you can also be heard as well. So I'll put all that information in the description so that you can check it out for yourself. Okay, so hardware, like I said, let me just summarize. You can use your smartphone and just start off with that. And actually, I did do that for quite some time, just video and audio from my smartphone. Okay, and then the next thing is getting a laptop that works for you, that you can do photo editing, you can do video editing, and store your pictures and so forth. So get a good laptop for that. And then using a camera, standalone camera, so that you can record, take pictures and so forth, and use it to produce your content. I think that is a great way to do it, and having a good mic. So those 4 things right there will be very helpful for you in your setup, and the tripod as well. Okay, so one last thing, let me see here. Okay, got it. And so now I want to talk about your software. Okay, I kind of mentioned a lot of these things that I'm using for your software, but if there's one big one to have, and you may already have it, is a Google account. Okay, so Google is the big player in mail and YouTube and so forth. So having a Google account is first and foremost. Okay, the next one would be Facebook. Facebook is the social media king platform. I find that most people, if not everyone, is on right now. So make sure you have a Facebook account. And Instagram, which Facebook has acquired, is another platform to have an account in. It's just basically pictures, it's videos, it's stories and so forth, and it's a great way to share your information in addition to Facebook. They got different audiences, and so you can attract different types of people, but having Instagram is really good. So moving on to like emails, I like using email as a free service up into a certain number of contacts and so forth. But email through MailChimp is what I use, and I've used it for some time. It's very solid, it's good, it's easy, and you can use it to integrate with other software platforms like ClickFunnels, which I'll talk about next. And so it's really easy to use and very useful as far as integration. Okay, so use MailChimp. Next one, like I said, is ClickFunnels, which is a funnel software program, which means that you're creating pages to bring someone through a sales process, right? So there could be a leads page
where you are exchanging information, so that when a person lands on this page, they're giving you their email and their name in exchange for something you will give them for that. So the second page would be a thank you and the item or a document that you promised to give. Okay, so I like that strategy a lot, only because people who are serious about what you are offering will do this, will give you this information, and then you know that the person is more qualified. Okay, I talked about this information about quality leads and so forth in the previous part. So I think it's the part 2, I think. So I'll put the link in the description so that you can also see that if you haven't seen my previous episodes. And just real quick here, a lot of the information I am talking about is from my book, I think I mentioned, Network Marketing Rebooted.com is the website. You can grab your free copy of this, what I'm talking about, so that you can make notes and maybe understand what I'm talking about a little bit better. But using ClickFunnels is a great way to capture leads. Okay, and you can get a free trial of ClickFunnels actually, and there is a link that I'll put in the description so that you can check it out and try it for 14 days free. If there's one thing about ClickFunnels, I've been working with it since 2017 and have some knowledge about how to operate and how to use it so that you get the most out of it. So look out for that. Now, I had mentioned video editing software. Video editing software, there's some free stuff out there. Adobe Photoshop seems to be the best for me. There's stuff out there that you could use to edit your software. I know Canva is one way to do it. It's a free software online that you can upload your photos and you can adjust it through that software. I just like Photoshop, and you can get, I think, Adobe Photoshop for a certain amount per month. I forget what it is, but you can also invest in that as well. Okay, so I want to move on to audio software. So if you are producing podcasting and you want your audio to be heard, you can go through these platforms to be to have these podcasts that you produce out there. So I currently use Podbean.com, and that is a audio hosting site for for podcasts and so forth. That they will take that podcast and they will distribute it out to iTunes and some other platforms as well. So it's a great service. I forget how much I pay per year. I think it's like $100 per year. So it's not too expensive. And so that's really good. And then there is Anchor.fm. And I might just switch everything over to Anchor.fm only because Anchor.fm is actually free. And so it's a really great platform to use. Check it out, Anchor.fm. And I know a lot of people are using it right now. It's really easy, simple, straightforward. And they also distribute a lot of the audio podcasts out to iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and so forth. And so that's a really great platform to use as well. Okay, so now you must be wondering about editing software or audio. And so there's a tool called Audacity out there. I'll put the link in the post or the description so that you can check that out if you haven't heard of it. It's a great way to splice, cut, and do all these things with your audio. I, on the other hand, am using Adobe Audition, which is an Adobe product. So there's many out there. You can look at which ones to use. But those are really the minimum to have as far as software to get you up and running. And I'm really just focusing in on how to produce content, how to communicate with your audience, and how to capture your audience. Okay, so producing your content through your camera, and then editing it through your Adobe software or whatever software you're using, and then if you're using ClickFunnels to capture people and leads, then you have a way to communicate with them through MailChimp. Okay,
And if you're using or producing podcasts, you have a way to distribute it through anchor.fm or podbean.com. And any of those ways or any of those softwares would be great for you. Okay, so I forget the exact amount of the expense I'm spending per month. I know ClickFunnels is $97 per month for me, and then Podbean I think is like $3 a month if you break it down, or a little bit more than $3. What is that? It's $5 or $6 or something like that per month. So so it's not that expensive in my pocketbook, but depending on what your budget is, there is other software besides ClickFunnels that are similar, but I am familiar with ClickFunnels. I understand they have great support and great training along with it, so that's why I prefer that. But for the most part, those are the hardware and software tools that you can use so that you can start producing content and value and sending it out to your audience to attract them, and so that you can produce or generate leads and potential teammates and sell your products and all those good things that come with marketing. Okay, so I think I've covered it all. I don't want to go out around in circles, but if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you really like this and you think that this is resonating with you, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit the notification button so that you can get more videos like this. What else? I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember that all of this information is in my book, networkmarketingrebooted.com. You can go ahead and grab a free copy of your own at that website, and I'll put the link in the description so that you can go ahead and do that. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave them in the comments as well. If you have different other software or different other hardwares you have questions about, go ahead and leave them in the comments for me as well. I hope you guys are doing well, and as always, stay hungry and never give up. All right, see you guys later. Bye.
There you go. Wasn't that an awesome episode? Hey, you know what would be cool? You taking a few seconds to leave me an iTunes feedback. You never know, I might give you a shout out for it. Are you teaching your downline outdated MLM marketing strategies even though you know that there's a better way? Well, here's your chance to do something about this. Check this out. I put together a free 5-part video recruiting training series teaching you the latest marketing strategies to grow your business. To get this free master pack, email straight into your inbox. Subscribe to this podcast at www.nextgenmlmhacksradio.com. Again, the course is free, and this will help your team and help you understand what I am doing. Go download it now at www.nextgenmlmhacksradio.com.